Amandine Flachs is influencing the gaming industry for the better with an innovative take on machine learning bots and how they can enhance the player experience. She reminds us why it's essential to look out for better solutions. As the CEO and co-founder of WildMeta, Amandine helps support early-stage tech startups for the past 10 years in France, the USA, and the UK. She now helps video game developers create smarter, more human-like, non-playable bots using machine learning. She is also deeply involved in the startup ecosystem as a mentor, a VC scout, and through her video series featuring startup founders. Get ready to learn something new. Enjoy.
Who plays video games? Either you do, or you most likely know someone who does. Isn't it crazy that when you ask players about good or memorable non-playable character or bots, they only mention games that are from 10 years ago? Test it yourself. Personally, there's only one fairly recent game where I thought, wow, the character of the game is actually good. However, if there's one thing players can give you, it's an endless list of recent situations where a dumb bot completely ruined their game. Let's check out a short clip from a competitive multiplayer game called Dota 2. Pay special attention to the character in the middle of the screen with a circle underneath. Can you tell if that's a human playing? Well, it's not. It's one of the bots my company WildMeta created that learned to play Dota 2 in less than 24 hours. In game development, the game AI is what controls the behavior of a bot. It could be a bot playing your enemy, it could be the final boss of a game, or a character that plays alongside you. Don't be fooled by the name. Today, when we hear about artificial intelligence, AI, we think about machine learning, but game AIs are in vast majority scripted, which means they follow a specific set of rules written by someone. It also means it requires a huge amount of work to turn them into believable characters that appear smart and could pass for a human player. Game AIs haven't changed for years, and players are paying the price. It breaks their engagement in the game and leaves quite a bad taste in their mouth. On the game development side, the complexity of the games we play has increased a lot over the past few years. Procedural generation is becoming more common. There's also a huge interest in emerging gameplays and games that let you create your own world, like Minecraft, Roblox, or Krita. Players' expectations are also always higher, and this means it's getting very difficult to develop scripted bots for certain games. I have been looking into this problem for almost 2 years, and I believe the key is to use machine learning to create smarter bots that play a game and react to their environment instead of following a script. Machine learning technology has made huge progress over the past few years. We can now do things that were completely out of reach 5 years ago. Machine learning researchers have led the way. They showed it was possible to use video games to train machine learning agents capable of beating every human at some games. We can already put the research into use, providing bots that aren't necessarily designed to beat humans players, but that help improve their experience and support the developers. This is a picture of my co-founder Alex and, well, my hands. In 2019, we went to San Francisco for a Dota 2 competition between OpenAI AIs and professional Dota 2 players. The vibe in the room was pretty amazing. We were surrounded by great machine learning researchers, esports fans, and watching all together games of Dota 2 for an entire afternoon. I mean, it was pretty exciting. At the entrance, they gave us this kind of balloon to either cheer for the AI or for the human players. We took one of each, but we didn't really want to pick between humans or machines. I mean, why would we have to choose? Can't they just complement each other? Do we really have to oppose them? That's how we started seriously focusing on machine learning for game AIs to enhance players' experience. What are the benefits of machine learning based bots? In a nutshell, first, they are more robust and flexible to game changes. Let's say you have different maps or environments, but the rules of the game stay the same. Or, as I mentioned before, maybe you are using procedural generation. We take that in consideration to build a game AI that will adapt to these changes. Second, no one wants to wait for other players to be ready to start their multiplayer game. That's why many games like PUBG or Mario Kart add bots to populate their servers, but they usually are too poor at the game and often serve as target practice. If you can't tell if that's a bot or a human playing, then that's not a problem anymore. Third, when you train the AI, meaning when it learns to play a game, you can also generate different versions of the same AI with different skills or performances. Finally, NPCs play the game, so they react to what's around them and choose the next moves accordingly. Once again, not following a given script. In video games, we often use the term suspension of disbelief to refer to players' willingness to embrace the reality of the game and dismiss the small things that don't really make sense. When the enemy is too predictable or walking in a circle waiting for you to arrive, it immediately breaks this suspension of disbelief. Bots that naturally react to players' move keep people engaged in the game. Being involved in the gaming community reminds me every day that game developers have creative minds. For most teams, it doesn't make sense to hire machine learning specialists, or it's complicated to integrate them into the existing pipeline. We need more startups to bridge the gap and do the R&D for the studios, offering solutions that truly support game developers so more games can benefit from this technology. That's what we're trying to do with WildMeta. When we hear about the metaverse or the future of gaming, we usually think about 3D avatars, virtual reality, and even a complete virtual life. It may be less sexy, but I have no doubt machine learning-based bots and smarter NPCs are part of this future too, and this technology is already ready for production today.